Hi, I'm Raymond Gabriel. Thank you for joining me in this short series that I'm doing on growing wealth, on entrepreneurship and other things that are of interest to people who want to grow money and want to become wealthy. Today I'm talking about the fundamentals of building wealth. What are the fundamentals that we need to know? Well, the first thing is the basic fundamentals, right? It's a question I get asked. So, Raymond, what are the basic fundamentals of building wealth? Well, there are four things that you need to understand. The first thing is wealth acquisition. How are you acquiring your wealth? The second thing is managing your wealth, making sure that you are managing that wealth well, you are keeping track of it, you're doing the right things. The third thing is the purpose for wealth. And it's the most basic fundamental. What is your purpose for wealth? Is it to give your family a better lifestyle? Is it greed? That means you're wanting more and more without a purpose. That's dangerous. That's going to cause you to make mistakes. The final area is wealth distribution. Looking at how you can distribute your wealth after you've got, how you're going to plan for that distribution. Who gets your wealth? When do they get it? What charities you want to support? You must have these four basic fundamentals with you when you're building wealth so that you have a good plan towards wealth accumulation. Question number two that people ask me is wealth creation. So the step one, right? The first basic fundamental, what can they do? So all of us have an income. We have a job, we have a business that brings in some income. Sometimes we take on part-time work, we are working in a big gig economy in some way. Well, it's good. So these are things that can create wealth for you. But the number one thing you've got to understand is your lifestyle. If your lifestyle is higher than what you earn, you spend more than what you earn, you're going to get into financial trouble because you're not going to have enough to cover your lifestyle. You're not going to have enough to put aside for wealth. So the first thing you've got to do for wealth creation is adjust that lifestyle. If you find you're going out too much, spending too much money with your friends, drinking too much or partying too much, cut that down so that you can have more money towards your wealth generation, and then you'll have more money to have fun in the future. A lot of people think, the future is too far away. I want to live for the now. Now that's concept that I write about called delayed gratification. Delayed gratification versus instant gratification is a number one reason why people create or don't create wealth. People who spend what they have when they have it never taste delayed gratification and never build enough capital to invest. So your lifestyle is key. For example, if you can live, let's say 30-40% below your current income, that 30-40% becomes capital that you can save, invest in, open up other investments and live a good investment cycle. Now, the other things you can do is, if you have a job and you're free in the weekends, turn one of your hobbies, something that you like doing. Some people like art, some people like collecting music or dealing in music. Some people like buying different things and trading in it. Even wine. People sometimes buy wine and they trade in wine. Your hobbies can become a business that can actually generate money for you and you can have fun doing it in the weekends. It's better than just laying around and doing nothing, right? If you like organizing tours, you can become a part-time tour guide. You can actually organize trips with your friends or with your family and earn from it. You can blog on things that you like. If you like food, you can have your own blog site talking about food. So there are many things you can do part-time that can generate wealth for you. And this extra income should go straight towards investments. You shouldn't touch it. Another question I get asked is, how do you achieve financial wealth goals? Well, if you have a wealth goal, for example, to save $1 million by a certain time, to be free of the need for you to work, you're just generating work because you enjoy what you're doing. The most important thing about your wealth goals is you've got to live it daily. So for example, I talk about and I teach about how you should track your financial goals, where you can just spend 5 minutes at the end of the day, track your expenses in 10 categories. That works for everyone. Now, doing this tracking actually allows you to understand how much you're spending in different categories. You may be surprised how much you're spending on food, on entertainment, on going out with your friends, and that's where you have leakages. So you've got to shut down those leakages. Now, so the key to achieve goals, for example, if I want to lose weight, I've got to exercise, but I've also got to weigh myself every day to make sure that I know how much I'm weighing, whether my weight is staying the same, going up, what sort of food. You need to have a plan. Now, part of that plan is having a budget, but tracking that budget to make sure that you stick to that budget. And that's how you achieve your goals. There are also a lot of free apps online that you can find to track your expenses, but make sure that they track it in categories and it's linked to your budget. So you know how much you're supposed to spend in that category per month. And if you go over or you're reaching that goal, you have to adjust. Then you can make adjustments during the month, not at the end of the month, and then find out I don't have enough. One more thing that you should do is that money that you receive every month, your salary or your business or whatever, you should straight away put it aside to invest. Don't touch that money. Put a percentage of, let's say, 10% or 20% aside to invest, to grow your wealth, and then live on a certain amount. The best thing to do is if you can live on 50% of your income, 40-50%, and save and invest the rest, including saving for holidays, for entertainment, putting money aside, so you live a very balanced lifestyle. One more question I get asked is, what are steps that you can take to achieve wealth, and what stops you from achieving wealth? Well, I talked about how you can generate wealth, steps you can take part-time or whatever, but what stops you are four main things. Number one, habits with money. So if you have bad habits where you are living a certain lifestyle, you are actually using money and buying things that you don't need or that you are trying to keep up with people. So those habits are going to cause you to lose money very fast. The second thing is impulse spending. So if you see something you like, you straight want to buy it. You don't want to wait. There's no delayed gratification. A lot of people, they only feel good when they spend money or they buy things for themselves, and they have to continuously buy, whether it's online sites or other things. These are dangerous. So these are people who cannot hold on to money and they never generate wealth. They keep living month to month. Okay, so impulse spending is the second thing. The third thing is lack of planning. There's a book called The Millionaire Next Door. Fantastic book. They did research on 40,000 millionaires in the US. They found certain common habits. One of the habits that they have is they spend 8 hours tracking and managing their finances every month. Most of them spend it. They don't use financial planners. They manage their money every month. The other things that they do is that they actually look at how to buy things which they need. They never buy new cars because they know the minute a car leaves a showroom, it loses 20 to 30% of its value. They buy 3-year-old second-hand cars so that they don't have to pay the premium price on that car. And it still has a warranty. They can still fix things up. Smart, right? The number one car among these 40,000 millionaires in the US is a Ford pickup truck. So they're not interested in showing people lifestyle or showing people a fancy car or impressing people with what they have. For them, the money in the bank that they're having that's working for them, their investments are what works for them. And funnily enough, most of the millionaires in the US, that 40,000, are not lawyers, doctors, professionals, but they're actually blue-collar workers. They may be lecturers, they may be teachers, professors in universities. Average jobs earning about 70,000 US a month. It's just how they live their lifestyle, which is my point number 4. Their lifestyle is so important in terms of generating your wealth goals. If you've got to live under a certain lifestyle, and how they actually manage their finances themselves, they don't listen to people. The fifth thing that people ask is, when you see people who are wealthy, what habits do they have? Well, for me, when I talk to people and I looked at people, how they manage wealth, which I've learned from and I practice, the number one thing they do is they don't listen to people who tell them where to invest. They understand what they're investing in, they do their own research, and they know what works and what doesn't work. Of course, they talk to experts maybe. They go for talks. They go and listen to different investment schemes. So they look at proper private banking, proper wealth management. They qualify because they've already got a certain amount of wealth. That opens up more doors. Do you know the more money you have, the more investments you can take that actually not available to most people? So they get into the category where they've saved enough, and then they look at how they can use what they save and protect it. They never do everything high risk. They never do everything too low risk. They have what they call a mixed basket. Some low risk investments, some high risk, some at medium risk. How do you know your risk level? Well, I've got a free test you can do on my book if you get it that teaches you what your risk level is and what you should be investing in. Another question that I get quite a bit, what are common mistakes people make when they're trying to build wealth? Well, first mistake is getting advice from everybody and not learning how to understand your own investments and where you should be putting your money. You remember when I told you about the millionaires that spend 8 hours a month researching, learning about investments, learning about different things they can do? You should actually learn about what you're investing in and how you can grow that wealth. Never listen to people and just think that they're going to give you the best advice. I follow everybody and going to get wealthy. You need to make the decisions about your own money, and you need to know how those investments are working and generating wealth. What causes people to make these mistakes? Well, there's greed, people wanting to get very wealthy in an unreasonable time. Greed is also a definition of wanting more and more without a purpose, so they don't have a purpose for them doing it, so they will keep making mistakes and keep trying to rush it. There's no bigger purpose that they're using their wealth for. Is it their family, their children, their community, looking at helping people, looking at charities? There must be a purpose that drives you towards wealth creation. If you don't have that, you're going to get lost. Second thing is the herd mentality. They see a lot of people investing and they think, oh, okay, Forex is good, so I'm going to get invested. I'm going to go invest in Forex. They don't understand it, they lose money. They make decisions which are bad, right? You need to understand investments, mirror the market, try it out without using money. That means mirror, for example, if I was doing this, I was investing in these things, educate yourself where to go, what to do, how people are making money before you start putting a hard-earned savings into things which you don't understand. I think the third thing is covetousness, looking at other people and saying, I want that lifestyle, and that drives you to make mistakes because you should be happy and grateful for what you have. Don't look at trying to keep up with the Joneses or try to be like other people, but manage wealth in a good way. Be happy for what you have your own goals. It's not a race to see who gets there first. It's a journey of life. So have your own goals. As long as you achieve your goals within a reasonable time frame, be happy, be content. Don't go outside your means and live outside your lifestyle. These are some of the things you can do. Thank you very much. I'm Raymond Gabriel, and I hope these sessions have been helpful. Do follow us on TikTok, on Facebook, on other sites so that you can keep up to date with money, investment, and how to protect your money, how to grow your wealth, how to start a business, how you can grow your business. Thank you.